Stephen Williford is the guy who heard about this shooting and went to shot him. Regardless of whatever actually happened there, that man is a hero. There's a debate about whether he actually stopped the shooting, since apparently the guy had already left, he was done. Maybe the guy was getting in his car to go somewhere and shoot somewhere else. There's no evidence of that, but it's possible. But regardless of any of that, this guy knew that he was going to a place where a guy was killing people and he chose to go, so that guy's a fucking hero. But what this event does not prove is that all you need is more people to have more guns. First of all, he didn't have an assault rifle, so apparently you don't need assault rifles to stop gunmen. And we know that Mother Jones conducted analysis of 62 mass shootings and civilians were not able to stop it. In the few cases where civilians tried to step in, one of a couple of things happened. The civilian died, was killed, or was injured. We broke down the video of the guy that came upon a car hijacking. He pulled out his gun to try to help the guy and shot the victim in the head. That's the sort of shit that happens, but that's never gonna penetrate the skull of someone who has a financial interest in letting you have whatever fucking gun you want in whatever situation you want.
Well, it has penetrated the skull, but they just will not act on it. They're well aware that if everybody had a gun at these scenes, you'd have a lot more dead people. What would Vegas have been like if everybody had a gun? And they heard gunfire and it's ricocheting from everywhere. Everybody's got their gun out and they just start shooting.
What would the cops have done?
Exactly, right. The cops don't know who's doing the shooting. It's absurd. This argument about if only the good guys would have the guns, then they could take out the bad guys. That's never cut for me, never had any traction whatsoever. If you just think it out logically, it makes no sense.
Yeah, and even if, look, in this particular case, let's say he stopped more violence from happening. Let's say that the cops wouldn't have gotten there shortly thereafter. And again, regardless, the dude's a hero because he went in knowing that he could die. That is not in question. But let's give you that. So when they found out that this guy had shot him, a lot of the right wingers were triumphant, because this is the only thing they're waiting for when it comes. They don't actually care if, however many people end up dying. They just want to find out if they're off the hook on this particular one. Okay, so this guy goes in, shoots 26 people. A good Samaritan gets his rifle, perhaps a hunting rifle, sporting rifle, something like that, goes and shoots him, and they're like, oh, good. Oh, yes, everything's going as planned. Only 26 people died. America's working perfectly with this solution to the problem. Their best case scenario leaves 26 people murdered in a church. And that's the best we can do? Is that making America great again? That we simply say, 26 could have been worse. Let's move on to the next one. But that is actually the position of untold numbers of right wingers online right now. That this is proof that their strategy works. That only 26 people were murdered in a small town church.
And yet, when there are people killed and Islam's involved, we run to safeguards. What can we do? How can we address this? The terrorist threat. I mean, that's the fear we're most comfortable with. When clearly domestic terrorism of this sort, I mean, crazy terrorism, is a far greater threat.
Yeah.
And yet there is no effort to make changes. No, I mean, and as John says, we talk about it over and over and over again, and you're sort of you're at a loss for a new angle, because the truth is it's obscene what's happening in this country. I just came back from Europe, and in Europe, the guy was saying, go down here we're talking about a restaurant or something, and he said it's kind of like a really dark area, but then the restaurant will be around. I said, isn't it scary? And he said, no, we don't have guns here like you guys do.
Yeah.
That's what he said. I mean, the world understands America is gunland. We are the United States of guns.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, with the gun-free zone thing, okay, the UK is almost entirely a gun-free zone. The right winger's logic is, if you ban guns, then the only people who get guns are criminals, and then they run wild. Okay, then why in the UK aren't they running wild? Why doesn't every criminal get themselves a pistol? They know they'll be able to outfire the police and just go to the UK and run amok. They don't do that. Why do we learn nothing from the experience of these other places? It's incredibly frustrating. And then of course there's the other way that they try to get off the hook, where if somebody bought a gun that it would have been ideal if they hadn't been able to get it, then that would look bad for them. But if instead they just got it illegally, well then gun control wouldn't have mattered anyway because they broke the law. And so you saw spread all over the place online last night that this guy was actually banned from getting a gun, and so he bought them illegally. So gun control arguments don't actually apply. Turns out it's not actually true. He hadn't applied to buy a gun and been rejected. He applied to concealed carry and had been rejected. And apparently the newest information is that the Air Force didn't update a federal database with his domestic violence conviction, that they're saying in this article theoretically would have stopped him from buying a gun, but all the other information says that the particular classification of the domestic violence thing would have still allowed him to buy the gun anyway. Perhaps this is just a fucking distraction, maybe. Maybe it would be nice if you couldn't get denied for a permit and then go out and buy, a military style assault rifle easily on the secondary market. Let's have fewer guns overall, legally and illegally, and make it as difficult as hell to perform this sort of act.
I mean, this guy fits every profile of somebody who shouldn't be allowed to buy these weapons, right? He has a history of domestic violence, violence against both his wife and his child and animals, apparently, as well. He served time. He served a year. He got a dishonorable discharge. I mean, if ever there was a profile of somebody who shouldn't have an automatic weapon, by the way, he's had military training too, so he knows how to maximize the casualties. I mean, this is the profile of someone who shouldn't have a gun. And the fact that he had all these guns and was able to do all this destruction. Again, I just think it's an obscenity.
Yeah, and if you're like, I know that pretty much everyone, and especially you watching this, you probably are, you've gone through this a lot. You probably have pretty strong feelings one way or the other about this issue. But just like, as a person, doesn't it bother you that the other side, whenever an event happens like this, they're just looking to minimize any potential action? That they're relieved if they can somehow distract you to some other topic. Doesn't that bother you as a human? That they would pretend that they're it takes a fucking progressive atheist to try to protect people in a goddamn church in this country these days, because the actual Christians have been the conservative Christians have been so co-opted by the Republican Party that they think Jesus would have carried an RPG if it had been around at the time. Dude said turn the other cheek. He didn't say carry 24/7. He didn't say you should be packing when you go into the pews. That wasn't his position.
If you like this video, you probably like independent media. The best way to support independent media, become a member of the Young Turks. TYTnetwork.com/join.